Try to shalom family. Welcome to the channel, guys. Man, I'm telling you, YouTube, they just be going live now. They just be popping up on you. Although we scheduled it, as soon as we press next, we live. So welcome, guys, welcome. As you guys see, man, it's so much going on, y'all. There's so much going on. I know we always talk about this. The things that we hear over here on this side of the world, and the things that you guys hear on that side of the world. It's pretty much the same, but different. So, you know, in this video, we're gonna be talking about the musketeers, right? You know, it is early here, it's morning time, so we're just waking up. We meant to try to do this video, a couple days ago, you know, but we just been super busy just trying to get things in order for the next step, for the next venture, for the next journey that we are going to be on, that the Most High has us on. So welcome. If you are tuning in right now, you know, let me know where you are tuning in from, which state, which country, which continent. Let me know. You want to close that? Let me know. So make sure you like the video, leave your comments below, and yeah, just waiting on my beautiful wife. Yeah, America.
Good day.
Yeah, there's YouTube. We scheduled it out, but as soon as we press next, it just automatically came on. So
yeah, you gotta stay ready, right?
Yeah, you gotta stay. Man, that's a good point. You gotta stay ready because things are changing. Like really.
You have to stay ready because America is in shambles. I don't know if y'all are aware. Most people are aware. But America right now is literally in shambles. Like, we watch the headlines every day just come across the phones. Like, this agency is decimated. Look, DOGE, 21 of their employees just resigned yesterday. And, you know, I was listening to some of the information and the letters they sent to Elon and the DOGE department. And they wrote these letters and they said, we are not willing to decimate the American government due to your policies. They said we're not willing to sacrifice the privacy, the infrastructure for the American people. So whatever's going on, it seems like, how can I put this? These people in power are clearly not who they proclaim to be. And the federal workers are seeing that. Why do you think they would fire thousands, 200,000 federal workers? Unless it's like, hey, I need a full system overhaul because I need to take over the way that I need to take over.
I don't like to really talk about this stuff.
That Americans are gonna have no autonomy.
It's just, it's really like, you really have to foresee what's about to happen. Like, if you got eyes to see, you kind of can see what's about to happen. Just as you was just saying, it's going to be like a takeover in a way, just by, you know, a couple people. So, you know, it's going to be some type of three musketeers. Put it like that. I guess that's my new way of saying it. It's going to be three musketeers. So Trump, Elon Musk, and somebody else that, if you're paying attention, you will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's crazy, y'all. It's crazy that, you know, 200,000. Think about that. 200,000 people fired.
An entire town's worth of people. Some small towns have 200,000 people.
Like, what are those people gonna do when already the you know, people, the middle class people was struggling? Now these people probably got fired. Like, it's gonna be America is like drowning, and they're like, their fingers is above water, so they're trying to like reach for anything that they can grab.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a lot that's coming down the drain right now, and you got to be prepared. You really got to be prepared. You got to get your finances in order, like, really.
Yeah, even if you're like, oh, I'm broke, I'm poor, don't say that. You're not. You're really not. If you're in America, you're not broke and poor. It's just reality. You just have to. I remember when we were younger, we would go speak to my granny and go to her like, "Oh my gosh, what do we do? We're broke and poor." And she'd be like, "No, you're not. You can save money." And we'd be like, "No, there's no possible way to save money." And she'd be like, "Yes, you can. Just
Right.
put the dollars in your wallet and don't spend it."
Yeah, I remember.
That's it.
I remember when we went there, it was like that situation. She had us write everything down, and it's good that she did that because once you write everything down and see like, okay, oh, this it's not that bad. You know, if you're not writing things down just to see it on paper and stuff, you know, you probably you're probably gonna be confused and freaking out like, oh man, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Just write it down, see what's in front of you, and you know, tackle it. Really.
Yeah.
So, you know, you just gotta you gotta be diligent. You gotta be more focused than ever before on your future, on these next couple months, in this next year. It's gonna change. So, whatever they're talking about on the news, right? Whatever they're talking about with the I don't want to say the checks, I guess, right? You better use that wisely if it comes through. You gotta use that wisely if it comes through.
Yeah, and the 21 people that are resigning, to me, this is huge. This is like a protest in the government itself, where people are standing up and saying, "No, I'm not going to do this." And you know, a house divided cannot stand. It's not possible for America to go on any longer in the way that it has been going on. We've been saying this for 5 years now. 5 years. We didn't know it would look like this. I would say that this is worse than 2019, 2020 with COVID, to be quite honest. And back then when we left 2019, 2020, around the same time we were going to my granny saying, "Hey, we're broke, we don't know what to do. Oh my gosh, what do we do, granny?" She's like, "Save, save, save." She's saying this to us probably December of 2019. Y'all know, if y'all been on this channel, we moved to Africa without visiting in August of 2020. So in that January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, 8-month time frame, almost as long as a woman carries a child, by the way. In that 8-month time frame, our mindset completely shifted. So that's why we're like, don't say I'm broke. Your reality could be the exact opposite by August or sooner.
Yeah.
Our mindset flipped so much. It was just one flick of the mindset. This like, stop saying you're broke, you can save money. Once we understood that we could save money, we literally saved the most money we had ever saved ever in our lives, invested the most we had ever invested in our lives. And just a month ago, we were like, "Oh no, I'm broke."
Yeah.
And it was like, no, you're actually not broke. You're just not aware of your finances. So we had saved and invested the most we had ever done in our lives and invested in our business. The business exploded. It was 4 years old in 2020. And so we were like, all right, now we're ready to move to Africa, boom, without visiting. People were like, "Oh my gosh, you should visit. Oh my gosh, what's it gonna be like? Oh my gosh, stage 4, don't go." We were like, "I don't care about none of that. I'm going because I know I'm called to go." Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care about none of that. We only listen to one voice, the Most High.
Exactly.
We do not listen to man whatsoever. Man is so limited in their thought processes. And if you allow man to get into your mind right now and to tell you, "Oh, do this, don't do this. Go there, don't go there. You'll be so confused. You'll be running around wild." This is why people are so filled with anxiety, because you got too many people in your ear. I believe we were never as humans meant to be around all these people. Like, if you look at a practical sense of the ancient timelines, they would have been mostly around their family, around their neighbors, and that's it. They didn't have social media. They didn't keep up with the Joneses. They didn't keep up with their high school friend from 15 years ago. They didn't keep up with the folks down the street. It was like in the ancient times, if you see somebody you knew, great. If you didn't, you would be completely unaware of what was going on in their lives. But in the age of social media and the age of everybody wants to grab onto everybody's coattail, everybody wants to get in your ears, tell you this, tell you that, cut all them folks off, because these are dire times. You see just in the last 45 days how much America has changed. Some of you have gotten fired. Some of you are watching the changes. They had just also fired Joy from MSNBC, a black woman, in public. So we see the public crucifixion that is happening to the American people, black, white. It don't matter no more. We told y'all this last year. It don't matter who it is anymore. When a system is falling like that, they're gonna take down everybody they can take with it. Just like the devil himself. He knows he's on a highway to hell at all times of the day. He knows he's not forgiven. So he's going to take with him everybody he can on a highway to hell. That system is doing the same thing. Trying to take down as many of you as possible. But the thing is, you have the authority, the ability to leave. It's just literally a flip of the mindset. It's the difference between saying I'm broke, and oh, I'm wealthy, I'm able to save, and I can invest in my business. The end. That's the exact mindset we did within less than 8 months. And here we are today, traveling throughout Southeastern Africa for 5 years, never have gone back, and have increased, having children abroad.
Exactly.
It's available for you too.
Really, it's there. It's about the mindset. Just like we're talking, like really, it's about the mindset. We say we're not going back. You know, we gotta stand on that. We say we're not broke. You know, we gotta stand on that. We said this is not hard. It's challenging, and we can get through it. It's not impossible, because everything is possible if you believe in the Most High and trust in the Most High.
Yeah.
Like really.
Yeah.
It's really possible. Like it's so crazy to think about when we talk about 2019, like the situation that we were in. Like you guys just don't know. If you don't know, go watch some old videos. We don't have time to explain it, but we were in a situation.
Yeah.
But once we flipped that mindset, we realized, oh wow, this is possible. Oh, this is more simpler than we thought. Like really.
Yeah.
Like us as humans, us as men, we make it way more difficult than what it is. It's very simple. It's very simple, and that's just with just pretty much everything. You got to try to make it simple. You don't want to make it too confusing. If it's too confusing, that means that hey, you might not be hearing from the Most High. You know, you might be stuck on the thought process of man. So you really gotta really have your foundation be your trust in the Most High, like really.
Yeah.
Like really, cause and like what's coming right now. If you are in the right position, if you are in the right mindset, it's gonna be good for you. But if you're not, it's gonna be super bad for you. You're gonna fall with everything that's falling. Like really.
Yeah, it's like choose your struggle.
Yeah.
People say, oh, it's hard to get on a plane and book a plane ticket. Oh, it's hard to learn a new language.
And
oh, it's hard to be somewhere you've never been. You get to choose your struggle, because I bet if a lot of those Fed workers had seen what was coming down the pipeline, they would have started their businesses 6 months ago and probably been looking, okay, let me just go somewhere else that's more affordable.
Yeah, like business, that business is key. That business is key, and that's what we've been talking about for 5 years.
Yeah.
Well,
the
more
same
than that,
thing
but
for
like been on here on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Trying to share what's been working for us for 5 years, right?
The same thing. The same exact thing. That's the other thing in business. You have to be able to focus. A lot of people can't focus once they get to Africa, because the thing is, your identity doesn't change when you get to Africa. If you're someone that's just willy-nilly, you know, halfway schizophrenic, you're hot, you're cold, you're lukewarm, you're just like this in every area in life, of course when you get to Africa you won't be able to reap the fruits of focus, steadfastness, and loyalty, because you don't act in those spirits. Business is very spiritual. Travel is very spiritual. Okay? There's no like America, Uncle Sam system to fall back on. And so if your default is to just crash out and go insane, obviously you're probably not going to have a great life abroad. Your business will not sustain itself, because you're the CEO. So you have to be steadfast to even be able to run a business for any length of time, especially beyond the 5-year mark, because most businesses lower than 5 years, you're still in the startup phase. You barely really know what your offers are. You don't know how to replicate success yet. You don't even know the data and analytics. You really don't know what you're doing until you reach past that 5-year mark. We are 9 years in business. This April right around Passover. That's also symbolic. But 9 years in business this April, and it's like, y'all, you have to focus and be steadfast. Choose one thing, be excellent at that one thing, take that one thing to the full extent, and that's it. Don't switch between too many things. Don't be hot, cold, don't be lukewarm, don't be up and down, don't listen to the folks down there, them folks, because that's the other thing about business. I remember when we were starting our business, my granny, same lady who told us to save, she was like, y'all gonna start a writing business? She's like, you gotta go back to work. You gotta go get a job.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, watch.
Yeah, I do want to say that too. Like, yeah, you really don't have to choose because it's already chosen for you. Like, it's
That's
literally
true.
your skills and talents that you
That's
are
true.
good at. And once you realize that, once you monetize that, that's your business right there.
That's true.
Because I'm telling you, there's so many ways to have a business. There's so many ways to, generate income. So really think about what are you good at? What have you been doing all your life
Yeah.
that you've been good at?
Yeah, everybody has something that they've been doing their entire life that they're good at. So I don't want to hear nobody say, I don't have any skills, talents. I don't want to hear I don't. I tell our children the same thing. Don't tell me you can't, you don't. I don't want to hear
Nothing's
it.
hard, yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
don't
I just
either.
wanted to say that because you really like don't try to do something that you like never ever like done. So just say, well, that's hard for me because I can do anything.
You're funny.
Besides, right? That's fair. No, like so. Just say like for me, um, dang, you gotta say that because I can't get a good example because everything connects.
Let me
with
think
me.
of an example. I don't know.
So if you're a writer, you're not gonna come um, do something else.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I'm
like
saying?
if I'm a writer, because you're a drawer, you're an illustrator.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
we
good.
wrote books together.
Yeah.
I write, you draw.
Yeah.
We illustrated books. Wake Up Jacob on Amazon, check it out. But I'm not gonna go try to draw if I'm the writer. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go open
That's
up
good.
a
Yeah.
art business and try to draw and be like, all right, I'm done with writing. Now it's time to draw.
Yeah, I'm
That
not about
does
to
not
go
make
write.
sense.
Look. Every time I try to write, it takes me 20 minutes, and it takes her 2 minutes. I'm telling you, and it'd be like just one paragraph or something, and I'd be like, babe, I need help. Can you help me? Do. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to get better, but that's just not my strength.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits our clients absolutely love, seeing that writing in real time. They're like, oh snap, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
That's that's how it is when you invest in business mentorship. When we invested when we were still in Ohio, there's just gaps it's a whole entire world that you're not aware of going into business. Especially online business, especially international online business. You're thinking, oh, I know stuff, I know, look what I know. And then your mentor tells you, well, actually look at X, Y, and Z, then do A, B, and C, and then look at the whole picture, and you're like, oh, this is a whole world that I know nothing about. For those of you on here, like, tell me more about this entrepreneurship. Tell me more about the offerings you have. Go binge the playlist, Black Educators Amplified. It's an entire playlist that you can binge to see if the program is right for you. But let's move on to our next topic. We want to talk about everyone's favorite president, Ibrahim Traore.
Yes, man, that's everyone's president. It should be, at least. Like really, that really wants to come back to Africa. Go listen to what he's speaking about. Go listen to what he's speaking about. Cause my biggest thing, you don't hear no president really speaking about history. And I'm not talking about no 1960 history, 1950 history. We're talking about Bible history. We're talking about centuries ago history. So this is something that tells me like, he's young and motivated. He's doing the right things. He's doing the biblical things. I can definitely tell that the Most High's hand is over him. and leading him and guiding him. Everybody think that they can have that position, right? But nobody really think about being in in his shoes. So what he's doing right now is very like righteous, and once you really look up Burkina Faso, you it's certain thing. That's the righteous. What is it? The righteous people.
Yeah.
The righteous.
The land
people.
of the upright people.
Yeah, the land of the upright people.
That's what the name means, because prior to that, during colonization, it was called Upper Volta. Okay, above the river Volta, because the Volta River is between Burkina and Ghana. So you have the lower Volta, obviously, in Ghana. And so when the colonizers came, they were like, "Oh, just call it Upper Volta." But Thomas Sankara, in the '60s, who is the founding father of Burkina Faso, listen to his speeches, because it's very in line with what Ibrahim Traore speaks about. He's very much in tune with those who went before him, studied what they taught, okay? And so Thomas Sankara named it the land of the upright people. So that's a legacy that they wanted to carry in Burkina Faso for all of these decades, all of these years. So you see why somebody can come out of a country like that and have this mindset, because the founding fathers founded it on a great foundation. And so that spirit was allowed to rise up, because this is so rare in Africa. I think Americans don't understand how rare this is. We've lived in Africa for 5 years. I'm telling you right now, most politicians in Africa are corrupt puppets. They are wearing blackface, but got white folks running stuff, okay? The vast majority, you're seeing a black face, but the government is white owned. You had a white owned government, colonizer owned. It is almost to the extent, because you have in a lot of these countries in Southeastern Africa, we've been to these cities where there are whites only towns. And you're like, why? Not just in South Africa. They are all over Southeastern Africa, in nearly every country. How do we know? Because we have networks of people in nearly every country in Southeastern Africa. And so we've literally went into these towns and thought we were in the 1900s in Mississippi. I was like, sure, what did we go into a time loop?
Probably.
And y'all know, I just be looking like, oh, okay, this is very interesting. So the rarity that is happening in West Africa with Ibrahim, this is so rare, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
This is so rare. Because I'm going to repeat it again. You see black faces. Black faces don't run. This is why you can have corruption. This is why you can have places that do not have high literacy. This is why you have places you'll visit in Africa, Southeastern Africa, and you're like, why can't they progress? It's not logical, especially then you come to a country like Mauritius and they progress, and you're like, okay, so this country's on the least corrupt list. So there's a pattern here with people who do not want corruption. Where corruption thrives is where there are players behind the scenes that you can't see, i.e. Switzerland, Germany, the Netherlands, Great Britain. I'm gonna call them out. Those are the players in Southeastern Africa that you can't see. And so you have other countries that are on the least corrupt list, and it's like, oh, they don't have as much as a hold in those countries. Or they've been able to kind of put them at bay and say, look, we're not going to do all this corruption. We don't want you to give us anything. Also, you're going to want to look at the African countries with the highest IMF debt, the International Monetary Fund. This is going to tell you who does not have rule over their land. This is going to tell you who sold out. So if they're willing to sell themselves out, obviously given the right chance and opportunity, they sell you out.
Yeah, you got to really pay attention to the percentages of who owns land, because there are certain African countries that, of certain families, certain countries will own 30% of the land. That's a big that's a big percentage right there. That's a big portion. 30%, 10%, 12%. That's even a big percentage right there. Like, I'm thinking of, like, just say if you're thinking about a stock, right? And one person owns 12% of a stock. they pretty much, if they sell off or they, buy or whatever, that stock is going to
change that stock big time.
Yeah, the stock is just going to change. So these are the things that you really got to pay attention to. Like these people really
they don't have the insights, man.
Own a lot of land in Africa that's not African.
And these governments will welcome them in. They'll pull out the red carpet. Yeah. But Ibrahim Traore, he's like, no, he's like, all y'all can get out. And we can't forget Mali and Niger as well, the Sahel Alliance. Chad is going in that direction as well, Senegal. So it's like, West Africa's the place to be. Let's just be honest, because they're not selling out. And so if you're not swayed by dollar signs and all this stuff, because the love of money is the root of all evil. Who loves money the most, more than somebody stricken by poverty? Or people like Bill Gates. So you have two extremes. You have somebody stricken by poverty that's just in love with money, but then you have the super elites like Bill Gates that's also in love. But for Bill Gates, if you empathize with the billionaire, his motivation isn't necessarily money. His motivation is more so control and viability of his lineage and his seed. So it's two different thought patterns, okay? But money has to do in both of them. And so West Africa is the place to be. Unless you're somewhere in a country like Mauritius, Seychelles, those are the only places I would be living.
Yeah.
I'm like, honestly, I would come visit certain places in East Africa, but when it comes down to the end times game plans, what the Most High has given us to see, our life experiences, the life experience of those in our network, it's like, okay, there's really only a few countries in Africa that I would even live in, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Mauritius, Seychelles, Burkina Faso, Senegal, and Ghana. There's like the only countries I would live in. They're the only ones. Senegal's on the least corrupt list. Burkina Faso, watch in the next 2 years. They're probably going to be number one on the least corrupt list.
Because you got to think about what West Africa is doing, what Burkina Faso is doing. They're trying to sustain themselves. And I'm going to say it again. Go watch The Grab. Go watch The Grab on Hulu. Please. Just go watch it. You will understand what is going on. And you can see, you can see what Burkina Faso, they want to sustain themselves. They want to sustain their country. And that's what they're doing. And then they're trading with their neighboring countries. Is 6 countries surrounded or 7?
7.
7 countries surround Burkina Faso. Yeah. So that's 7 countries that they can trade with.
Yeah.
And it's going back to biblical days of trading rice, trading beans. You get what I'm saying? Trading coffee, trading materials. It's going back to that, where it's like, and I'm telling you this, you said something about the payment system?
Yeah, I found the video. It's, y'all, Ibrahim ain't playing.
So
look, he's putting
with me saying that, it's like, yes, it's really going back to biblical days, and what he's doing with these payments and stuff. Like, they just want they don't want that U.S. dollar to be the middle, where you have to transfer U.S. and then use the U.S. dollar to give to Russia or something. You know what I'm saying? Russia want to give their Russian ruble, right, to Burkina. I'm not sure the money. What's the money there? But basically, Russia.
Frank, maybe?
Yeah, maybe Frank, Burkina Faso. Yeah. Russian money to Burkina Faso, right?
Turkey.
So it's just like they don't want to go through anybody, no middleman, and this is where, some cryptocurrency come into play.
This is where the fall of so we're seeing Babylon fall in record speed, and you got the right person in power to do that because the white pride that lives within that man is just on a whole nother level. But on top of that, Ibrahim, y'all, I'm looking at the new Tourist YouTube channel. I watched this video, y'all, 83K views. This is huge. Y'all probably haven't seen it because you guys watch from the States. Y'all don't usually watch African news channels. We'll play some of the video, just the audio. Captain Traore shocks the world as he ditches the IMF and creates Arzeka, okay? Arzeka. If you want to know what Arzeka means, in their language, it means wealthy, righteous wealth, okay? And so, y'all, this is going to crash the West even further. Why do you think France is so stressed out? Why do you think you know, whatever the man's name is, the orange guy, why do you think he is so frustrated, changing all these policies? Do you think this is the mind of somebody that's saying this, just change, flip this, do that, boom, 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 bam, fire them, fire 200,000 people. All right, 21 people resign. All right, that's not sane. That's what you do when you're worried about something that he's clearly not going to tell Americans about. The average American does not understand economics, honestly. The average American is screaming, I can't save, while bringing in $2,000, $4,000, $6,000 a month. But I digress. We're going to play the video. 10,000, 15,000 a month. You better find a way. Yeah. Where there's a will, there's a way. We thought we couldn't either. But let's play this audio, y'all. The
global financial system, deciding how money moves through major institutions like the IMF. This control has left many African countries, often labeled as third world, heavily reliant on these financial giants. But change is brewing, just as BRICS is challenging.
Yo, BRICS, but then there's a new... Look what Ibrahim just did, Captain Traore.
Burkina Faso, under President Ibrahim Traore, is also stepping up. Traore is determined to break free from the grip of Western financial institutions and steer his country towards self-reliance. His bold move, launching Arzeka, a groundbreaking financial platform designed to reshape Burkina Faso's economy from the ground up. But what is Arzeka, and why is it such a game changer for Burkina Faso? To understand the bigger picture, let's rewind to the words of Professor El0n's, who once made a powerful statement about the IMF and World Bank. According to him, these institutions don't just offer loans, they trap nations in endless cycles of debt. It's a system designed to keep countries dependent, making it nearly impossible for them to escape financial control. And here's the catch. When foreign powers control your economy, they influence your politics. When they influence your politics, they control your leaders. And when they control your leaders, they can even set up military bases, ensuring they have the final say in who runs your country. Professor Lumumba also pointed out how even Africa's own institutions aren't fully independent. The African Development Bank, which was meant to help finance the continent's growth, has 88 shareholders, including the United States, Japan, France, and the UK. With such heavy foreign influence, its original mission has been diluted. This is why financial independence is so crucial for Africa. Leaders like Thomas Sankara recognized this decades ago. He famously rejected loans and conditions from the IMF and World Bank, pushing instead for true economic freedom. Today, President Traore is walking a similar path, determined to rewrite the rules for Burkina Faso's future. If you are still watching this video, it means you love it. Why not take out a second and hit that like button? Have you done that? Let us move on. Burkina Faso has taken a bold leap toward financial freedom with the launch of Arzeka, a brand new digital platform designed to transform how money flows in the country. Unveiled on January 30th, 2025, in the heart of Ouagadougou. This platform isn't just another financial tool, it's a game changer for everyday Burkinabe. The name Arzeka means wealth in the Moor language, and that's exactly what it aims to build, not just for the government, but for the people. Think of it as a giant hub where all kinds of payments come together, whether it's taxes, public services, or community funds. Instead of bouncing between different offices or waiting in long lines, citizens can now handle it all in one place. Here's the cool part. Arzeka makes payments super simple. Whether you're using bank cards, mobile money, or direct bank transfers, everything's streamlined. Need to pay your taxes? Done. Want to support the Patriotic Support Fund? Easy. Even setting up your own digital wallet is just a few clicks away, but it doesn't stop there. The platform links up with existing systems like Orange Money, Move Money, Visa, and MasterCard. Whether you prefer using your phone, computer, or even basic USSD codes, Arzeka has you covered. And if you're someone who still likes paying by check or cash, no worries, those options are available too. What makes Arzeka truly groundbreaking is how it's designed with the people in mind. It's about cutting down on long trips to government offices, slashing wait times, and making sure every citizen, no matter where they live, can easily access public services. It's also a powerful tool for the government to manage funds better, improve transparency, and gather real-time data for smarter decision-making. When the Burkinabe Prime Minister, Rumtalba John Emmanuel Ouedraogo, officially launched the platform, he highlighted how Arzeka isn't just about tech, it's about sovereignty. This isn't a foreign-made system. It's built by Burkinabe for Burkinabe. It's a clear message that the country is ready to stand on its own. crafting homegrown solutions to its own challenges. He emphasized that while the country battles...
Y'all, that's just the first half of the video, so you can see how easy it's going to be for Burkina to be #1 in Africa just in the next 5 years. I'm just calling it. Because when you have somebody, first of all, when you stand on righteousness the way that's written in the 10 Commandments, that alone plunges you ahead of everybody else. Mm-hmm. This is why the list of the least African countries is so important. When you have leaders that are willing to not be corrupt towards the diaspora, obviously the Most High is going to be on their side.
And real quick, just touch on that. Because I know people like, oh, they, like what you just said, if you stand up on righteousness, right? You have the Most High not be about to say, oh, you stood on righteousness for 1 day. Okay, you're about to get rewarded.
That's not how that works.
That's not how it works.
That's not how that works.
You gotta, this has to be a lifestyle, and then the good things are gonna come. So I know that's a mindset that our people have. Like, you know, I've been doing this for the whole week. You know, I've been good for the whole week. No, you got to be good for, like, you really got to change your life.
Yeah.
Like, so I just wanted to say that because I know that's a mindset of a lot of people. Like, yeah, I was doing it. No, you got to keep doing it no matter what.
Yeah.
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 But, and also I wanted to point out something too. He said the more language. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, the more is, I mean, this is why it's more important language. To look at history, guys. We teach our children. We had our son when he was 10 reading From Babylon to Timbuktu, which took place in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and Ghana. Like, we need to be on code, y'all. We need to choose a side and be on fire for that side. If you choose the destruction of America, be on fire for it. Have fun, you know, go all the way. But if you're choosing the side of righteousness, representing the oppressed of the earth, they're now standing up and now getting on code according to the prophecy of the dry bones, then be all the way 100. Be all the way on fire. Don't be lukewarm. Don't be lukewarm in business. Don't be lukewarm in marriage. Don't be lukewarm in life. Don't be lukewarm in parenting. Don't be lukewarm in anything. Don't be lukewarm in moving to Africa. You can see this country and Niger and Mali, they are not lukewarm. They're on fire for righteousness. Literal fire. It's like a blaze in the Sahel region. A righteous fire that the colonizers couldn't stay any longer.
They've been refined.
They couldn't hit. Look,
refined.
They couldn't take the heat. They had to get out the kitchen.
Yeah.
They gotta go cook somewhere else. Yeah. Go cook back in France.
Really?
Go cook in Europe.
Man, and I'm glad
pay reparations while you're at it.
Yeah, if you guys enjoy this content, give us a like. Cause I enjoy. I wish. Look, I'm viewing it too. Like, dang, look, y'all better get great, in. Why is now talking about like this? This is very early.
Yeah.
This is very early, and everything that's happening right now, it reminds me of something that's happening all around the world. So, if you know, you know. I'm not gonna stress about it or talk about it. I'm not even gonna say the word, but if you know, you know. And this really reminds me of that, and it's gonna be the system behind what was just shared. It's gonna be great. It's really gonna be great.
Yeah, so it's already great.
You gotta get in early before it's too late.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. And get people that are just talking mess out of your ears. Before we left Ohio, we didn't really tell nobody we were leaving. Mm-hmm. We told people 2 weeks before we were set to go. We told people 2 weeks out. This is how much on code we are with what the Most High has written in our book of life. That's how on code we are. Like, we don't play. We don't tell people what we do. Mm-hmm. You can know surface level stuff, but until the Most High grants us the ability to invite you to the inner room, you're not about to know nothing. Because spirits jump up in people. People are ops. They're spies. Yeah. They're functioning. They're hot. They're cold. They're hot. They're cold. Then you let somebody hot and cold speak into your life. Then you got to rebuke them. Then it's a problem, isn't it? Because nobody wants to be rebuked by a younger generation, right? But this is that time. This is that time. Obviously, when Yeshua was on the planet, him between 30 and 33 years old, doing all these miracles, all these signs and wonders, and the Sadducees who had studied the best of the law, they think they know the best of the law. They like, I went to so-and-so school of the law, I stayed for this long, and
I got all this gray hair.
And I did that, and my beard swollen all the way down to my belly button, and Yahusha's up here, this young 30-year-old, doing miracles. Why are you talking in a spirit of authority? Talking about before Abraham was, I was. Yes, before Abraham was, he was. Yes, we walk and speak in authority because we know who we are. But that's something that the older generation, there's just a small remnant of them that's going to understand that. The rest are literally going to be trodden down just like in the wilderness. Scripture repeats itself, just like in the wilderness. Remember when the Most High opened up the ground because they were murmuring? What? It's like, playtime's over. So get folks out of your ears. Get folks out of your ears. Cut them off quick. And you need to move with discernment. Yahusha told us, don't cast your pearls before swine. You're wasting your time. Why? Why are you telling everybody your move to Africa plans? Tell them 2 weeks before you fly out. Book your tickets, then tell them. See ya. I'll see y'all on the other side if y'all choose to go. But this destruction that's happening in the West, I cannot stay around for it. One, because the Most High designated my lineage to progress and survive outside of the West. That's number one. Two, because in my book of life, I have a mission that I have to carry out in Africa, not in America. But that's intimidating to people who do not have clarity. That's intimidating to people who eat and feast on a spirit of fear for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's very intimidating because now you're messing with their demons. People don't want to admit these things. But fear is a demonic entity. When anytime somebody tells you a solution, you come up with a problem. That's a great test to know if you have a spirit of fear that's just sitting inside of you and overtaking your life. People will come to a solution and you start feeling agitated, like, oh my gosh, a solution. Let me come up with a problem. Really? Let us not be like this moving forward. But we know, as the scriptures say, only a remnant's going to make it. Everybody knows that. But you still come on to speak to the remnant so the remnant can get on code. So if you're moving to Africa in the next 3 to 6 months, don't tell nobody to the last 2 weeks. That's what we did. When we decided to leave East Africa, we didn't go all up and down telling everybody we knew, hey, y'all, guess what? Nobody knew. Actually, nobody knew on this channel for a year, except our members. Why? Because we wanted silence so we could hear from the Most High. You get to a level, our channel gets 2 million views. It may be closer to 3 million. And so we have so many people that email us, talk to us, want to say, hey, we don't want to hear from none of them. No shade. Yeah. But we like to hear directly from our Father. So we have this is why you're able to make fearless decisions. Because you don't have this radio station that's all fuzzy. Our radio station is very clear. Receiving visions, receiving instructions, receiving business plans, receiving homeschool strategy, receiving marriage strategy, receiving end time strategy, so you can see the future before it comes to pass. But you can only walk in that power and authority if your radio station is tuned properly. If your radio station is tuned to too many channels, you get that fuzzy feedback. It's just like, nobody wants to hear, who wants to hear that? I don't want to hear that. So that's why I don't speak to people all the time. I don't talk to a whole bunch of people. And yes, that includes our family. We tell our family 2 weeks out. Yeah.
I say like we mentioned it maybe because we did make a decision in December 2019. We sat there, we prayed, we fasted. We was like,
we're like, we're moving to Africa.
Yeah, we're doing it. Right? So I think after that, we probably told like some close people, like maybe your mom, maybe my sister. But I don't think they believed us. They didn't. So we was like behind the scenes doing the work. We wasn't like, hey, we're moving to Africa every week. No, we wasn't like that.
No. We wasn't like, telling people. I booked my tickets. Okay, this, okay.
I think we told them because we booked our tickets 2 weeks. So he's like, hey, we got our tickets. We're moving in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It's like, oh, for real? Wow. I didn't know y'all was serious. I told you 8 months ago I was serious. So that's how it gotta be though.
Yeah.
Like really.
If you're gonna do anything in life, Same thing with the business. Because we even got so much pushback from that, from again, older generations. They're like, you can't do a business. Because this is coming for context from a family that's like, hey, go to college, get your bachelor's, your master's, go work for the man 40, 50 hours a week and be stressed out, have high blood pressure, all these things. That was the playbook for that generation. So they're like, yeah, you need to do that. And we're like, no, we're not going to do that. We got pushback when we decided to homeschool our children. People were like,
Yeah,
you can't homeschool and raise a newborn. I said, bet.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
I can.
definitely gonna get pushback with that.
Oh, bet.
Especially here now. They just don't understand it. Yeah. But where we
Bet.
come from, that's probably the best thing. Like, that's literally when you come into this truth and you say, I want to follow the ancient path. Right?
What is the ancient path?
What is the ancient path? Like, that's really what you got to think about. Like, what does that look like? What does that really look like? Not in your eyes, in the Most High's eyes. Because it's going to be totally different than what we're used to. So you really got to think about when you're moving. I know this is a thought for everybody moving to Africa. They want to buy land. They want to till the land. They want to, build a house and stuff like that. They want to be sustainable. So you got to think about what country is actually doing that in a way for their country.
For their people, right? With the least corruption.
So that's what you really got to think about. Because certain countries, they want AI in it. They want robots in it and stuff. So it's like, that's not going to be sustainable.
And then certain countries have no choice. When you have those large international monetary fund loans, the borrower is slave to the lender. That's Deuteronomy. The borrower is slave to the lender. And so it's like a trap, like they trapped the Native Americans, like they've been trapping people with USAID. It's a trap. You get an international monetary fund, you're like, oh yeah, everybody from Sweden and Belgium, they're going to be great. I can't wait. It's
okay.
going to be fantastic. And it's like, no, it's not.
Man.
You might want to slow down.
Y'all
You don't know these folks. I know them because I was raised around them, so I know.
Just do your research on America, like, man, because we watched a documentary on Tulsa, Oklahoma. They really do that stuff. They do not want to see you win.
Tulsa. That was what it's
They
called.
do not want to see us win. So I get that we trying to come to. It's like it's nothing against our people's mindset and thought process and stuff about like boycotting certain things, but the ultimate boycott. What is the ultimate boycott?
Yeah, somebody answer the question. What's the ultimate
Please.
boycott?
Yeah, what is the ultimate boycott? I want at least one person to try to answer this. Because I hear people boycotting Target and this store and that store, but what is exactly to leave?
Members only Margarita 100. Yes, ma'am.
That is the
Leave.
ultimate boycott. Because
Voila.
in the next week, you're going to go back to Target because you're going to need something. The next couple months, you're going to, like really. People, I remember when people was boycotting Gucci and, what's the evil witch person?
Who?
Balenciaga.
Oh,
right?
okay.
But now everybody wants it again. Everybody's buying it again.
So what was the point of the boycott? You could
So
just...
yeah. It doesn't look. They don't care if you boycott. Look.
Let's cripple them for 24 hours. Really?
Really.
Really?
I'm
That's
telling you, the
very
ultimate
lukewarm.
boycott and the ultimate peace, the ultimate help, the ultimate thing to do that's gonna sustain your generation is gonna be to leave America.
Yeah.
And sustain yourself outside of America.
Facts.
And this is what that's why we, come on here and speak what we speak.
Yeah.
And try to talk to the remnant and say, hey, this is what we did.
And
You know,
continue
and-
to do.
Exactly. So it's just like, get your business good,
Yeah.
learn a new skill set.
Yeah.
Don't come over here looking to work a job.
No.
It's not going to be working a job. If you come over here, you need to be in a position that you're going to teach people. Like, really. You're going to be in a higher, big position.
Yeah.
So that's the only, because I know people say, I want to come in and work. Just for example, we had somebody come, was it Rwanda? Or Rwanda or
What?
Ethiopia.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The teacher.
Rwanda.
Yeah, Rwanda. Somebody came over here thinking that she was going to get a teacher job, and she ended up being a principal.
Yes.
So it's things like that where it's like, that's the mind, that's what America helped us with.
Yes.
They helped us, hey, you go to a third world country, and then you're going to be the principal. You're not going to be a teacher.
This is why we always tell y'all, stop saying you don't have expertise. You don't have, you're literally lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Like you lie, you meditate on lies. You tell yourself every day, oh, I was just in retail. I was just in customer service. I was just in healthcare. I was just a nurse practitioner. That's a literal blessing that most people on the planet Earth have not had the opportunity to be in or get in. Use it, because somebody else could have that same history as you and totally open up an entire enterprise for their next generation. But your mindset of, oh, I'm just, I don't care if you were just in retail. There are people on this planet that have never managed any retail stores. So you have expertise. I don't care if you are a PhD student and you're like, well, I can't find a job after my 50th dissertation.
Oh, it's a lot of that now, yeah.
So become a tutor for people who are in PhD. Come on. Stop lying to yourself. Because when you get around us, when you come in Black Educators Amplified, when you get around us, we don't do excuses. We're not going to advocate for your excuses. We're not going to advocate for your destruction. We're not going to advocate for your slow death.
It's just, it goes back to the Bible. It goes back to scriptures. I'm not about to sit like, people want you to sit there with them, say, hey, here's your pole, here's your hook. You know how to tie the hook and stuff. Maybe one time I'll do this. Tie the hook like this, you tie it like that, the hook's not gonna come off. You put the worm or you put the bait on there and you cast it out. There you go. Look, you got a fish. Okay, you got the fish, you take it off, you can skin it, you're good. That's all I'm doing. I'm gonna teach you how to fish and you gotta do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to keep doing the same thing. And I'm telling you, that's what Africa is gonna teach our people. It's not to be dependent on the West, pretty much, that system. You're going to be dependent on the Most High and what He really blessed you with, the skills and talents that He blessed you with.
And please don't tell Him He didn't bless you. Do you know how disrespectful that is to the Most High's face?
Yeah.
When you say in prayer and say, well, Father, you didn't bless me, He's literally looking down at you like, why are you so ungrateful? You don't see everything I've done for you? What? I don't know who's telling y'all that y'all not blessed, that y'all don't have talent, that y'all don't have skills, but y'all need to stop with these lies. They are straight lies.
You do.
You got more talent than 90% of the world.
Yeah.
And if they had what you had, they would run with it.
And 90% of the world knows that too.
Yep.
They like, dang, they so talented, but we're going to keep them down and just put that just little fairy dust in their face to just cloud their thought process to, say that they're not.
Revelations 2:9 and 3:9. Revelations 2. If the Most High Himself says you are rich, don't be the person that's like, no, I'm not, because you're being disobedient and disrespectful. Just to be honest. If the Most High literally says to you, you are rich. I know your poverties, I know your struggles, but you are rich. You don't see it. He sees it because He's up high, so He can see all your riches and your wealth. Because wealth starts in the mind. The money is just the symptom of the wealth. But the wealth starts in the mind. Meaning, you could lose all your coins, lose everything you have, and get it back next week because your mind is wealthy. Because you have an abundant mind. Yahusha was able to do what? Turn a few loaves of bread and fish into feeding thousands. That's abundance. That's wealth. There's people hungry here. Let's multiply everything we have. Boom. That's abundance. That's wealth.
Yeah, it's really about the mindset. It's about the mindset. So before you ask the questions, think about the question.
Yeah, think about if you're being disrespectful to your Heavenly Father.
Because it's like, it just starts with the mind.
Yeah.
Because it's not confusing. Yeah, you just gotta have the understanding of things. Okay, let me answer it real quick. I'm not trying to beat around. So someone said like if the system is falling, you know, pretty much is if everything is selling off and stuff, why get into, you know, the market and stuff. So you gotta understand the market. You gotta understand crypto stocks and stuff. It's not just by being at zero. That means that if it's at zero, the whole world is probably gonna be affected, not just the U.S. market, because everything is involved in that stuff. Companies, countries has percentages. Like we said earlier, 12% of a stock that will really phase the stock big time. If that one person do something, if that one person sell off, it's gonna affect the stock. So when I'm talking about investing in crypto, you got to get in early and try. The end goal is to get off the system, get in while it's good, and get out. Put your investment somewhere else where it's going to sustain your generation, the next generation. So it's like, yeah, it's not just going to fall.
Disappear.
Yeah, it's not going to disappear in 2 months. It's not going. If it's starting to disappear, it's going to take a year at least, 2 years at least.
And it's not going to disappear. How do we know this?
Yeah.
Because you can look at ancient Greece and see ancient Greece is still on the planet today. The Greeks
That's a
still
good point,
trade in their Greek currency, even though their entire society fell. They've had 7,000 earthquakes.
Mm-hmm.
So until Earth becomes the new Earth, there's going to be currency. As long as humans are on this planet, and even in the New Jerusalem, there's going to be currency. The currency up there is going to be gold.
Yeah. Some type of trade.
There's always going to be currency. Look at ancient Egypt. Do you think ancient Egypt, after they fell and got demolished and the prophecy came on them, you would never be able to raise like you did in the ancient days? But they still have their Egyptian coins. Why is that? Because as long as humanity is on the planet, currency is going to be traded.
Mm-hmm.
So look at ancient Greece, look at ancient Egypt, look at ancient Persia, look at ancient India and say, okay, did the currencies just disappear out of thin air? No, they didn't. So this is why you buy low and sell high. This is perfect buying time.
Yeah. So
we're in all the positions we want to be in.
You gotta understand what's going on. So we just uploaded a video. I did a video yesterday. It's really, look, you gotta start. If you understand the charts, you know what's going on.
Yeah, until humanity disappears, you're gonna be exchanging something.
Yeah.
Multiples of something. Unless humanity literally just obliterates and the sky is cracked open tomorrow, you're going to be exchanging. Scripture to back this up. Mm-hmm. The Most High, and we were studying this out in a new way that was like, well, we're like, our mindset, my throat is so dry. Our mindset in the West is so poverty stricken, y'all. It's so bad. You got to peel off all the layers. When you look at the scriptures, when you look at Matthew, and Yahushua's telling the parable about the talents about trading and about investing, and you look up how much those talents were that he was talking about. In modern day coins today, that's $1 million. A couple $1 million he was talking about. Why is he talking about such a high level of wealth accumulation when he's talking about a parable for the kingdom? He says the kingdom of heaven is like, and he likens it to wealth. Why does he do that? Because the Most High is not a poverty-stricken God. He's just not. The Most High didn't create and say, okay, now poverty wipes the... That's not what he did. He created and said, all right, an abundance of trees, fruit, farms, gold, silver, tanzanite. He's not a poverty-stricken Yah. And so when you have that parable and he says you had 3 different people who were investing. You had the one that did 1 talent, the one that did 5 talents, and the one that did 20 talents. The one who only had 1, he buried it under the ground. And it's like, you buried $1 million under the ground? Because you was scared?
Yeah, think about that.
You buried $1 million under the ground because you knew the master and you were scared. You didn't know him that well if you hit it. You buried it under the ground. And the king's like, You know, I could have taken that to the exchanges and got way more back. You could have at least doubled it. Then he goes to the one that did the 5. He got 5 times back. Then he goes to the one that did the 20. Now that guy, he's super, 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 super wealthy, right? That's what the kingdom of heaven is like. So just like you're not afraid, or you shouldn't be afraid to proclaim the name of the Most High, you shouldn't be afraid to stand up for the truth. You shouldn't be afraid of wealth and resources either. Abraham was not afraid of wealth and resources.
Say that again.
You should not be afraid of wealth and resources. Stop telling yourself, oh, if I have $1 million, I'll be evil. If I have 500K, I'll be evil. If I make 30K this month, I'll be evil. Stop.
Man,
that's not the Most High speaking to you.
That's deep. That's
Stop.
deep right there. Like, that's literally the mindset. That's a poverty mindset. Like, really. Like, being afraid of wealth.
Why? Why?
That really hits home right there. Just really think about that. Why are you afraid of wealth?
Why?
And you just got to use your wealth wisely. You got to invest in the right things. You're not just about to get wealthy and start buying Jordans and stuff. I hope not, because that's not the right.
You hope not.
Yeah,
don't do that, please.
You know.
And be generous, y'all. Give 10 to 15, 20%.
Exactly.
To the poor, not the church. Not the church. The Bible is very clear. It says give to the poor. It doesn't say give to the druggies, give to the drunkards, give to the people that's crazy. The Bible says no to who you do good. Mm-hmm. You better know to who you're doing good. Give to the orphans. You can never go wrong with that one. You can never go wrong giving to families. You can't go wrong with that. So we have all of these practices and all of these foundations about biblical wealth. Abraham knew this. You think when Pharaoh handed Abraham all that wealth, he was like, sorry, Pharaoh, I'm so scared. No. He didn't say, Pharaoh, I don't have any talents, please don't. That's not what he said. The Most High already told him. He gave him the prophecy, which was the true wealth, the vision that he received in the night. That was the start of the true wealth. Before anything got in his hands, before he even had his children, that was the true wealth, the vision. Not only did he receive the vision, but he believed it, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. So the Most High, in other words, is saying, you believed what I said, and now I can move the way I want to because you believed me. Now I can make you the father of many nations. Now I can increase your seed after you. Now I can bring a Messiah through you that's going to save the entire world. Now I can do everything that I want to do because you're not like, oh, I'm afraid.
Man,
I'm afraid of money. I'm afraid of gold. So,
that's deep. That's really
why be
deep.
afraid?
That's like,
I thought we weren't supposed to be afraid.
That comes a belief and trust, like, and I belief and trust. You really gotta trust the Most High. On this journey that we're on, like, really, man, that's what it really comes down to, and He will bless you. That's how you, man. Hallelujah, baby. I love you.
Hallelujah.
Nah, but for real, like, it's very simple. It comes back down to just being simple.
Yeah.
Like, it's deep, y'all.
We have case studies, y'all, that are written in the Bible. Just really make it practical. When Abraham's walking the earth, first of all, he don't return to Babylon. Let's start there. He leaves his father's house. So those of you that are like, oh my gosh, well, you guys stay in America forever. Don't do that. Well, Abraham would have said, hell no, I'm going to go. That's what he would have told his father, Tahor. Yes, I know you got your idols. That's great. Have fun. But I have to go. I got instructions. His father would have been like, oh, you crazy. You heard a dream from the most who? When we have wonderful idols right here that I just carved out of stone? And he's like, no, I just had a vision. I got to go. They would have called him crazy. They did call him crazy because Tahor is an idol worshiper. You got to look at an idol worshiper who worships the work of his hands. This is probably a very narcissistic parent. This is a parent that's probably very narcissistic. Your son comes to you telling you about the creator of the earth and you're like, well, look at this statue I just made. It's like, really? Are you serious? So he didn't want to believe that Abraham heard from the Most High, which stopped him from even believing there was a Most High. That's a problem. Again, we're seeing this older generation, younger generation issue. Why? So Abraham's like, well, Thank you, Father Tehor, for everything you've done. But I gotta follow my true Heavenly Father now. Don't know if I'll see you again, but goodbye. Peace. And he goes. But he, according to the book of Jasher, he would have been like the way they call it, a disrespectful child, right? He don't want to have the household idols. He doesn't want to follow the things that we tell him to according to tradition. Where does he get off and have all these dreams to be a son of the Most High, and the Most High call him his favorite? What is this pattern that we're seeing with the older and younger generation over and over and over? Now we go to Joseph. We have the same issue. Joseph is the youngest brother of his family, one of the youngest. He was actually not the youngest, but he was one above the youngest, okay? And so his father loved Rachel more than Leah, obviously. Because Rachel that's like his dream girl. But, you know, her father, it was just a little scam going on. Anyway, we're not getting into that story right now. We're getting into the latter part with Joseph. Joseph is younger than most of his brothers. Joseph's brothers are the 12 tribes of Israel. Joseph's brothers in the proper order: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, first 4. Okay? Then obviously you have Asher, you have Naphtali, you have Zebulun, you have all these, but the first 4 were the oldest ones. Simeon wants to kill his brother. He's the second oldest. He wants to kill his brother. Reuben's already in trouble because Reuben been doing some twisted stuff that he shouldn't have been doing. So Reuben's like, look, I can't get another sin on my belt here. We gonna have to work this out with Joseph. He's your brother. Judah's like, okay. Levi and Judah, they like, well, maybe we could just sell him. What is this problem with the older being jealous of the younger when the Most High wants to choose the younger? Why is it anybody's business? Now, Joseph but what really got him was when Joseph had a dream like Abraham. That irritates people. That really irritates people, to see the Spirit of the Most High move in people. And that tells you you're not dealing with people, you're dealing with entities. Joseph's dream, he says, I had a dream. I saw the sun, the moon, and the stars up in the sky, and then they began to worship me. And they're like, oh, our brother crazy. Look at this man. What is he talking about? Joseph, here you go again with your colored cloth. Brother, we're not about to worship you. So they like, he gotta go. We gotta kill him now. He having these dreams from Most High. Kill him now. Isn't that crazy? Let's move on with the story. Come on, let's go. Let's go storytelling. Let's go biblical stories. So Joseph, like, I'm just telling you my dream. Like, I'm just telling you my dream. I had to tell you my dream because it was to him. He's like, this dream's a big deal. Like the sun, the moon, the star. What y'all think it means? He's not trying to be funny. He's not trying to be sarcastic. He's just giving the dream. This younger brother irritating the older brothers. Again, younger brother, younger generation, irritating this older brother generation. And they're like, throw him out, put him in slavery, put him in that pit. So then he gets traded off into Egypt eventually, okay? And they're like, well, let's go tell Dad that a little lion ate him or a wolf ate him or something. He'll be all right. Dad will survive. No cares for their father, obviously. Like, really? You just go tell Dad your brother dead. I digress. Moving on. Joseph gets to Egypt, continues to have dreams. Let's make the long story short. Go read Genesis 40 through 50. It's a very long, beautiful story. One of my favorites. Let's fast forward, though, for the sake of time. Joseph gets to Egypt, and it turns out there's a famine in the entire globe. Egypt at this time is the America of the world. They are the top dog. Egypt of that time is the America of the world today. They are the top dog. Everybody goes to them when they need something. And so Joseph's already strategically placed in Egypt. Joseph had to endure jail, being lied on again by Pharaoh's wife. Go read the story, Genesis 40 through 50. He's had to endure a lot. And this is also why this principle that people throw out in New Age of, if something bad happens, you're reaping whatever bad. There are plenty instances in the Bible where we see righteous people plagued not for their own sins. Joseph is an example. Let's digress there. Moving on. So Joseph, he's top in command. He's like number 2 to Pharaoh. because he deciphers Pharaoh's dreams. So Joseph got the most pushback from his family, his brothers that he loves dearly. The most pushback from his family in the area that he was designed for. He was designed to be a dreamer and to interpret dreams. But the enemy, forget the 12 tribes of Israel and their names, the enemy, the Satan, the devil himself, leaps into his brethren. They're so righteous. Leaps into his brethren and tries to provoke him on the thing that he is going to save the entire nation through. His dreams and his ability to be prophetic. That's warfare. When your family and those who are close to you push back on your main assignment, that's how you know you struck gold. Oh, you're like, I struck gold right here. Look at the Most High. So continuing on with the story, he's top in command to Pharaoh. What does it turn out? His brothers come up because the famine in Egypt. They come into Egypt asking for food. They go through this little ordeal that takes, a few days, a couple days, because he's trying their spirits to see if they're really repentant. And they end up bowing down to worship him at his feet, as his prophecy said 30 years ago. But now, once the famine hits, once the world's crazy and they come, they're like, oh, we're ready to submit. We got to eat, Joseph. Thank you. Hallelujah. They bow down. And you think Joseph was like, yes, they're bowed. He don't care about that. Joseph just wants his family to be alive, saved, and love him. That's all that he cared about, is the younger generation. That was his only care, and doing the Most High's will. But the Most High had to ostracize him and take him away from what he knew, because he couldn't grow where he was planted. He couldn't grow around them people. Yeah, they're the 12 tribes, and the Most High said, you can't go around them. They're going to eat you alive. They will eat you alive.
Keep plucking at you,
They will pick and pick, trying to make you go crazy. They'll eat you alive. It's better for you to be uprooted in Egypt. How? How is it better for Joseph of the 12 tribes of Israel to be raised up as the top command in the occult society of Egypt? He got more peace in Egypt than he had amongst his chosen brethren. Why is that?
It's so many details in that story. That's probably like one of my favorite stories in the Bible. Like, really.
Why?
There's so many details.
Yeah. Anybody answer why? Why couldn't he just, why he have to go to Egypt to be separated? And everybody's like, well, don't be separated. No, be separated. Be set apart. Go somewhere else so you can be raised up in the calling the Most High wants you to be, because he's raising up the Josephs, the Daniels, the Jeremiahs. Jeremiah loved his people, got separated from him because he would warn them time and time again. Again, younger generation. Jeremiah 1. The Most High starts out by saying to him, I've called you, you're young. Do not say I'm too young. He tells Jeremiah this on page 1. Do not say you're too young. I don't care what the Israelites think. Most High's like, I made them Israelites. I don't care what they think. I don't care about none of that. He don't care about the Sadducees, the Pharisees, the Jebusees, the Webusees. He don't care about none of them folks and what they want to call themselves. The Most High comes to Jeremiah and says, I want to raise you up to be a prophet, not only to my people, but I want to raise you up as a prophet to the nations. He says, don't listen to those Israelites. I know they're a trip. I know I know, Jeremiah, but don't fear them. Do not fear them. Don't. And so this younger generation, Jeremiah, he gets to warning the Israelites, warning them. Jerusalem's going to fall. Judah's going to fall to the Babylonians. They're going to come in. They're like, can't you preach something that's cute and nice to us? What's wrong with you? Right? America's going to fall. Babylon's going to fall. Can't you preach something that's more heartwarming? He continues years in, preaching, continuing, because he's not confused. Continuing, hey, Jerusalem's going to fall, Jerusalem's going to fall, Jerusalem's going to fall. Then they get in their mind, okay, let's go back to Egypt. He comes back to him and says, okay, the Most High told me, if you go to Egypt, you're going to fall in Egypt, because he didn't want you to go to Egypt, because Egypt represented the highest idol of the world at that time, thousands of years after Joseph. But what does Jeremiah do? He doesn't say, oh, well, I can't go into safety. Look at all the Israelites that's perishing. He goes into safety. The Most High tells him, you're going to be safe because you're obedient, but the rest of them are going to fall. And Jeremiah says, okay, well, I guess I'm going into safety. He didn't say, oh, I can't go into safety. Too many of my people are dying. People, you have to understand the Most High. If the Most High says judgment against a nation and a place, it would be wise to be obedient and find your route of escape. Just like Jeremiah did. He found his route of escape.
To sum that up.
It was designed for him.
To sum those two stories up.
Yeah, y'all, that, look, you have to know the scriptures for yourself. And you have to find the patterns. This is a pattern we see. Older generation, younger generation. Old system, get out of the old system. Today, we live in a world where America's the top power. America is the Egypt of today. And you have to ask why the Most High say don't return to Egypt. There's a time and a season for all things. You better know the time and the season.
Yeah, man. That's a good point. You got another time in the season, because this season that's coming up, it's a lot of things that lines up with the Most High signs and wonders and stuff like that. So this year is going to be a year not to be playing around. It's really not. So that's why we really try to. Well, it's not even us. It's really the Most High. The Most High gave it to you too. It's the scriptures is right there.
Yeah, we got all this from the Bible.
Yeah, the instructions is right there. It comes down to belief and trust in the Most High. Like, who are you going to serve this day? Who are you going to trust this day? So it's just like, man, it's happening, y'all. It's really happening.
Full steam ahead.
It's happening on both sides. The good side, the righteous side, and the bad side. The side that's going to fall. Like, really. So which side are you going to be on? Which side? Like, it's really deep. It's deeper than what we're talking about right now. And you really got to understand that. You got to understand that. It's deeper than what we are saying right now.
Wish people could understand. Sometimes you feel like you're speaking in a different language, man.
And maybe we are. Maybe we are.
Maybe we are.
So, all praise to the Most High always. Hallelujah. You want to kind of review what we talked about?
Yeah, you made me think of something, though. How you were talking about, it triggered my mind. It's never going to be the perfect time. Like, a lot of times we're waiting for the ideal time, the ideal money amount, it's never going to be ideal. When we left Ohio, obviously making your first investment at $2,500 is scary. You're like, dang, I'm $2,500 short. Switch the mindset. Oh, but what I gained from getting in this program, this 8-week accelerator, my business can explode. Shifted the mindset. Stopped focusing on, oh my gosh, well, what if? And start focusing on, oh, but what if?
Yeah, this is gonna happen.
What if this actually works? Here we are, 9 years later, or not 9 years, that was 4 years in the business. 5 years later, like, whoa, that investment paid off heavily. Dividends year on year on year on year on year on year on year. So it's like it's never going to be, if you're looking for the perfect country, the perfect time, if you're a perfectionist, stop being a perfectionist today. Please.
Use
for
that
your lineage.
with a skill or something.
Please.
Yeah.
It's never going to be perfect. You may have 50,000 in the bank, then you say, well, it would have been better if I had 65.
Or 52.
Like, really? That's your whole reason not to flee the land of the north as it's written?
Yeah.
It's never going to be the perfect time. Just do it. Do it. You're going to survive. It's going to be okay. More than that, what if it's more than okay? What if you come out with a legacy bigger than what you could have imagined? What if you come out with more family, a larger network, a bigger enterprise? What if you come out with exceedingly beyond anything that you could have even asked for in the first place? This is what we're living in real time.
Hallelujah.
These things that we experience now, we didn't even have the mind to pray for. Just to be honest. But that's favor. That's what happens when you trust. But trust doesn't happen when you just say, I trust. You have to put your money where your mouth is, your action where your mouth is. If you trust, get on a plane. If you trust, put the resources into your business. If you trust, we need to see action with your trust. Because your trust ain't trust if there's no action. It's just talk. So yeah.
It's right in our face, y'all. It's right in our face, and I know we can see it. That's why we coming on here talking how we talk, because you know, the Musketeers. I say that's my new term now. The 3 Musketeers. The third person will be revealed pretty soon.
Who is it?
We talk about it.
Okay.
But yeah, the 3 Musketeers is doing what they do. That's all in your face. And our president Ibrahim,
Captain Ibrahim.
I always think Abraham.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's doing what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of people's not seeing what he's doing because they probably trying to hide it. They trying to block it. So choose your side. Choose your side. Really, it's deeper than what we saying. It's way deeper than what we saying. Use that system that's falling outside of the system, outside of that environment.
Yeah.
Start your business, grow your business, get profitable in your business, learn a new skill set. And I promise you gonna sustain yourself outside of America.
Yeah, it's simple. Once that's the foundation, your mindset, you can't lose in business with a mindset like that. You can't lose if you know when I invest, I am accountable to myself, so I know how to make my coins back. Bet. That's how I go into any investment. I go in like I can't lose because I believe that I can't lose. I truly believe that. Y'all, I know y'all can tell that. I truly believe in anything I do that I put my mind to, I cannot lose. So when I invest, I can't lose because I'm smart. I know what to do because I have divine strategy. If I'm about to lose, the Most High is going to warn me before I even lose anything. That's how I move. I move like that in business. I move like that in life. I move like that with stocks. All of it. Everything I do, I cannot lose. I move like that with homeschooling. We were talking about at the beginning of this video how much pushback we got for trying to homeschool in Columbus, Ohio. Not from the system, from family that was close to us. And I was like, oh, I can't lose. I can do it. Oh, you can't do it with a newborn. Yes, I can. Watch. And here we are today. So, all praises to the Most High.
Hallelujah.
Believe
guys,
to the fullness.
Yeah, believe and trust in the Most High, like more than you ever did before. Please, because man, March is around the corner. I did want to say this to the viewers here. You know, thanks for liking the video, but we wanted to, you know, give a key information out about Burkina Faso too. If you don't know about ADDI, go look it up. This is the last couple days to sign up, so you will be able to go and get citizenship when they put the date out for Burkina Faso. So these are critical times right now. If you are interested in going to Burkina Faso, go get that membership before it's too late. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. You know, check the description. Email us if you are learning this, want to learn this new skill set of trading, day trading, learning the market. You can email me because man, this next month I'm telling you, it would be wise. It would be wise just to, you know, at least invest something. At least, especially if you believe in the Most High and you are like walking that righteous life, because this could like really benefit you tremendously. Like really.
It will benefit you tremendously.
Really.
It's not even if.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, that's it. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, family.
Be blessed. Read Hebrews 11 and get your circle smaller and smaller and smaller so you can exit the West. Don't tell nobody till 2 weeks before.
Yeah, read the story of Joseph too, and Jeremiah, because that's good. That was good. So all praise to the Most High.